In my mind, the conversation goes like this for Katie, who is dating a woman who has a 12-year-old, right? 12? It goes something like this. When Katie is sharing her life to one of her friends, she's like, oh, yeah, I met this great girl. Oh, she's got a kid. And then the question goes, oh, how old is the kid? And Katie says, it's a 12-year-old girl. In my mind, everybody goes, oh, because that's a tough age for a girl. Ooh, you are diving right in.
And you would be right.
Yeah.
That is exactly what happened when I told my friends, because like, oh my gosh, this is a preteen. And that's how I felt, because I'm like, okay, this is a preteen we're dealing with. You're at the age where you're able to express if you don't like me or not, and tell your mom, hey, get her out of here. And so that's like how nervous I was, especially when I first met my girlfriend's daughter. It was like, okay, let me feel her out. But then it's like, I don't want to do too much to try to get her to like me and get like, hey, I heard you like this, and shower her with gifts. Because, you know, I'm like, a 12-year-old is at the age where you can read through all the BS. So I've tried to come up with a game plan. Like, what's the best way to attack this? What's the best way to ease into it? And I've just kind of, for the most part, stayed back. Let her, if she wants to say something to me, let her say something to me. And then we have a conversation from there. And slowly but surely, she's warming up to me. She'll text me now randomly things like skibbity toilet. I don't know what that means. Nice. But you know.
So long as there's some communication. You don't need, do you Google what she writes you sometimes?
Yeah. Sometimes I definitely do. Or she'll send some TikTok that I have no reference to what it is. I don't get it. But, you know, that's just the generation.
I want people to grasp how huge this is, right? Because there are a lot of hormones that are happening. And you're mostly what you're going to get is somebody that wants absolutely nothing to do with you, right? So the fact that like communication has been established and she will randomly text you, I think that is huge, even no matter what the text is. Like that's massive.
Yeah, I was so excited when it first happened. Like I had my girlfriend up. I was like, did you know she texted me? She was like, what? I was like, ooh. So it was little things like that that I was excited. But then there's also been things that, like watching my girlfriend parent, and I'll notice different things where I'm like, if it was me, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have let her get away with certain things like that.
Right.
So then I'm like, at what point, like, I just sit back and watch and not tell her, hey, I think that this could be done better. You know, like
it's difficult. I
know.
Yeah, it's more difficult for you with a 12-year-old, but plus not having your own kid. Like, at least when I speak up with Amanda and her son, I have some experience with kids, so I have a little bit of more built-in credibility, or not, depending on how she views my kids. But since you don't have that, you're walking a real fine line.
I know. So, but that's also in the back of my head, because I'm like, eventually, like it's going to happen eventually where I will, my girlfriend and I, we've talked about this, where step into a parental role eventually. And so I just observe for right now, but I'm making notes and I'm like, this is also a preteen.
Yeah. And what you said earlier, I would put in your notes, you're going to have to say it a little differently. I wouldn't be like, I think this way is better.
Yeah, I think if you started
there's no like one way is better than the other. There are different ways to parent. But I would not say one way is better than the other. And if you want her to try your way, I wouldn't say that your way was the better way. Yeah. That's not going to make it happen.
What is the protocol for that? Are you supposed to wait for the parent to like ask for your assistance, or do you just volunteer it?
It depends on the individual. I think you're way safer by asking a question like, I wonder if she would respond differently if blank, rather than this is the way to do it.
Oh, I would read right through that.
Would you?
Yeah, probably. Well, y'all wouldn't. I wouldn't know you trying to tell me my parenting not up to par.
Yeah, no, I would smell that one out pretty quickly.
Well, what can you say?
I think
my favorite is nothing.
Yeah. Being complicit. I think it's a conversation that needs to be had. And if you feel like bringing it up first, be like, hey, at any point in time, do you want me to step in? Are you comfortable, or do you still want me to sit back when it comes to any kind of parenting with your daughter?
Yeah.
And then just leave it at that.
Because if you don't say anything, you'll end up like disliking her daughter.
So I think it's like right now my girlfriend's easing me into things like that.
Okay.
So for example, it's like her daughter just got her first boyfriend.
Oh.
And she's like, Katie, what do you think about this? Like, we had a whole open conversation when her daughter came to her. And then her daughter also told her it's okay to share it with me. She's like, well, Katie, what do you think? So I think she's easing me into that. And so then she gave me a next challenge. And the challenge was, hey, I want you and my daughter to have one-on-one time. you two go out on your own and establish like the conversation, a bond. She's like, I want that to be like the foundation, the leading steps.
I love this. I think that's, I mean, and I think that speaks volumes of how she feels about you as a partner.
Or she just wants some time away from her kid.
There's that.
Leaning towards the last.
Free babysitter. But for me, that was terrifying. I was like, okay, because I had to plan this out. And so her daughter always said that she wanted to try sushi. She's never tried sushi. So I was like, all right, let's go out to a sushi restaurant and let's have this one-on-one time. But leading up to it, I was so nervous because I'm like, well, what are we going to talk about? How is this going to go? Is she going to get tired of me and say, hey, take me home? But I had nothing to worry about. We went, we spoke, and she was just telling me things about school. That's all she likes to talk about, school and her boyfriend. I'm like, okay, well, what else? Yeah. What do you want to do? You want to play volleyball? Okay, cool. And so then as we're having this conversation and her daughter was leading the conversation, I like relaxed and I'm like, okay, I can do this. And then she's like, are you ready to be a parent? Are you ready?
She said that?
Yeah. She's like, are you ready? What comes with this, Katie? I'm just saying. I'm like,
Huge.
And what was the answer to that? No.
No, I'm not sure now. Because now it's like you're challenging me.
It sounds like the foundation is there, man. I mean, she really likes you, and 12-year-old girls don't like anything.
I know. That's why I'm still terrified, because tomorrow it could be something completely different, right?
Real quick.
They can sniff out fear, Katie. You're gonna have to learn how to stamp that down and like stamp that fear down. That's like blood in the water for sharks. You can never let a preteen know that you fear them.
Yeah, truth.
Noted.
Truth.
The Bert Show.